Namaste, Jai Hind and welcome to this edition of The Right Stand. I'm Anand Narasimhan. First up, let's talk about the Waqf Amendment Bill that's been referred to the Joint Parliamentary Committee JPC in August 2024. It is all set to be tabled in the Lok Sabha on Wednesday around noon. The BJP has issued a whip to its Lok Sabha MPs to be present in Parliament as the government will table the Waqf Amendment Bill. The Congress has also issued a three-line whip for all of its MPs to be present in the lower house for 3 days. The Waqf Bill, after amendments as per the recommendations of the JPC, will be tabled, and after 8 hours of proposed discussion, which Minister Kiren Rijiju has also hinted is subject to being extended if required, there will be approval sought for its passage. Now, sources tell us that whole discussion and also passage of the bill in the Lok Sabha should transpire, if all goes according to the government's plan, on the 2nd of April itself. Government sources say that Union Home Minister Amit Shah is also likely to intervene in the debate on the Waqf Bill on Wednesday. Now, earlier in the day, the opposition walked out of the Business Advisory Committee meeting chaired by the Speaker following a heated exchange over the time allotted for the Waqf Bill debate. The opposition wanted 12 hours, the government said 8 hours, and then subject to extension if required.
So finally, there was an agreement that the total time to be allocated for discussion on Waqf Amendment Bill would be 8 hours, extendable after taking the sense of the House. Some political parties are trying to create some excuse so that they can run away from the discussion. That would be unfortunate.
BJP is a party which is guided by RSS, which wants to spread nafrat and hate in the country. Therefore, they want the communal tension to be grown.
लेकिन मैं कहता हूं जो हो हल्ला कर रहे हैं इनसे पूछना चाहता हूं कि इन्होंने कोई ऐसा काम वक्फ बोर्ड के माध्यम से किया हो जो वेलफेयर का हो। छोड़िए, सब समाज की बात छोड़िए, मुस्लिम समाज का ही कोई कल्याण किया हो उस प्रॉपर्टी का।
नहीं, वक्फ बोर्ड के खिलाफ हैं हम लोग। इसलिए खिलाफ हैं क्योंकि भारतीय जनता पार्टी हर जगह हस्तक्षेप करना चाहती है। भारतीय जनता पार्टी हर जगह अपना कंट्रोल चाहती है।
आर्टिकल 14, आर्टिकल 25, 26, 29 का ग्रेव वायलेशन है। ये वक्फ बिल नहीं है बल्कि ये वक्फ बर्बाद बिल है।
The government, meanwhile, is confident that numbers are stacked in favour of the NDA, and the BJP is confident of full support from its allies like the Janata Dal United, Telugu Desam Party, Lok Janshakti Party Ram Vilas, the Rashtriya Lok Dal, and of course the Shiv Sena. And as the JPC has taken care of a lot of the concerns voiced by members of the NDA. The NDA in the Lok Sabha has 293 MPs, including the BJP's 240, 12 of the JDU, 16 of the TDP, 5 of the LJP Ram Vilas, 2 of the RLD and 7 of the Shiv Sena. And there are also about 6 independents or others who are supporting the NDA. The total strength of the Lok Sabha is 542. Support of 272 MPs is needed for majority. This puts the NDA in a comfortable position if all its allies back the bill to the hilt and they are present in the House. The NDA in the Rajya Sabha, meanwhile, has 123 MPs, including 98 of the BJP, 4 of the JDU, 2 of the TDP, 3 of the NCP and 1 of the RLD in Jayant Chaudhary. The total Rajya Sabha strength is 236. The support of 119 MPs is needed for majority, and this too gives the NDA a slight edge in the upper house. The unity of the alliance, that will be put to test. Let's try and go across to our guests as a straight face-off between Shazia Almi, national spokesperson of the BJP, and Tausif Khan, advocate, joining us in a bit. Let's go across to Shazia Almi. Shazia ji, namaste. One of the key concerns that's being raised by the opposition is that the rights of Muslims will be trampled upon. The government is trying to bulldoze via the strength of its numbers an amendment bill that is going to Waqf Barbad Bill hai, is what Asaduddin Owaisi has been quoted saying.
Nothing could be further from truth. And let me tell you, those who are opposing this are actually working against the Muslim interests of Muslims. When it comes to lower caste Muslims, that is Pasmanda Muslims, when it comes to Muslim women, and when it comes to economically challenged Muslims or the very poor Muslims who are at the lowest rung of the economic ladder, you realize that there have been only victims of such Waqf boards and they have not been beneficiaries at all. You imagine at this point of time, you're looking at 9 lakh acres of land. Not forget about 8 lakhs, 7 lakhs, 1 lakh. Can you name or can anybody tell me even 20 acres that have been spent on, that have been used to make a school, to make a college, medical university, engineering colleges, any form of help for the victims, the widows of any way? So that's one big lie. The second big lie and propaganda is that the land will be taken away, that the masjid, dargahs will be snatched away. There is nothing like that, and that is fear mongering. It is just to upset the Muslims, scare them, do rabble rousing, and make sure they come on the streets. It is sheer politics. The Waqf Zameens, as they are, have become a source of corruption. Every Waqf board, state or central board has seen corruption, in fact. And so many times, whether it's the Rajinder Sachar committee or other committees, Shashwat committee, they have talked about the need for reform of Waqf boards are concerned. Waqf board land is given to malls, to hotels, and mutawallis make money and make merry on it. Hardly any poor Muslim or a Muslim woman or a widow can expect anything good out of that. The maqsad of which, the laksh of which, the goal of which is awqaf, work for awqaf, insaf, and for charitable purposes. So it's very unfortunate that these parties who are opposing it are only working against the interest of the very poor Muslims, the very marginalized lot. 60 years of their rule, secular parties' rule, what have Muslims achieved? Nothing. And now finally, when we're looking at, giving some sort of respite to our very poor brethren, you imagine whose socio-economic industries are the lowest.
Shahzaji, CAA Amendment Act 2019, the bill found passage in Parliament, and then it was ruckus on the streets and mayhem and total disruption for months on in Delhi. The Farmers Bill, Farmer Amendments, the bills, they found passage in the Lok Sabha. A year later, year of ruckus, year of mayhem, year of disturbance, especially in Punjab, Haryana, 2 states, farmers of 1.5 states, let's say, held the whole country to ransom. And a year later, the Prime Minister himself had to say, we are going to repeal these 3 acts. How is it going to be different this time around? If you believe the narrative is false, if you believe that lies are being peddled, how are you going to counter this narrative on ground?
I think it's high time that these parties hold poor Muslims to ransom. I think this is just political slavery of Muslims. I can see Tawseef right there. I can see Tawseef right there, pardon me. I can see Tawseef sitting right there. You know, Mamta Banerjee, many years back, who spoke against Waqf and Waqf corruption when it was Jyoti Bosu's government. So it is very unfortunate that now, just to see Muslim votes, they are working against the interests of Muslims as one. And 2, more importantly, that, Muslims in this country, whether it's the Shah Banu case or the Triple Talaq or CAA, have only been used as political fodder. And who's the beneficiary? These parties, who do precious nothing for Muslims. So I think Muslims are being fooled, Muslims are being hoodwinked, Muslims are being deceived by these parties to make sure that their control over them continues, and they continue to be political slaves of these parties. And I wish there could be a better way to reach out to them. I'm so glad when it came to reaching out through different masajid, so to speak, by the BJP functionaries for the Eid, that Prime Minister gave out that this message was sent. And I'm sure an average Muslim will understand how these parties have only worked to keep them in a state of educational and economic backwardness. So I think it's shameful and disgusting how they work against the interests of poor Muslims.
Well,
And
one of the points that I would note is that contrary to the instant teen talaq, where it was a groundswell, there were cases that came from ground, there were issues that were raised, and that brought forth a certain level of public support for the repealing of or criminalization of instant teen talaq. Although it was opposed by the same AIM, PLB, Asaduddin Owaisi and some of the others, largely there was a certain level of support from Muslim women, from parents of daughters who had been troubled because of this. Has that been done this time around the Waqf Amendment Bill? Or is there too much of, झूठ डूइंग द राउंड्स? वो कहते हैं ना कि झूठ के पाँव नहीं होते, सच छुपाए नहीं छुपता, लेकिन जब तक सच उजागरत होता है तब तक झूठ पूरा शहर घूम के आ जाता है. एंड दैट्स अ लॉट ऑफ डैमेज दैट कैन बी कॉज्ड इन सोसाइटी. सो दैट्स वन कंसर्न व्हिच आई वुड कंटिन्यू टू होल्ड. But Tausif, namaste. Yeah, you joined in a little late, but what Shazia Almi was saying, and I'm sure she addressed you there, you heard her out. So your point of view, a Mamata Banerjee who questioned the Waqf and its misuse or perhaps the corruption within the Waqf boards in Bengal during Jyotu Bashu's time. How is it that the Trinamool does not see the true picture here, or perhaps the reason behind the Waqf Amendment Bill?
No, the reason behind Waqf Amendment Bill is very clear, because it's all in the writing, and we have seen the provisions that government suggested that they would wanted to change in the 2024 bill that the government presented. Now, clear cut, if in a one sentence we can say, BJP central government wants to take away the powers of the Waqf tribunal, bring their own people, bring their own stooge, and therefore snatch the properties which are meant for the poor Muslims, the properties which were donated by the Muslims from generations before us. And therefore there is no doubt for anybody who has read the bill. They are all clear what the intentions of the bills are. I take strong objection to what Shazia Almi was suggesting. Shazia can speak for herself when she said Muslims are fools, that Muslims are being fooled. She can say that about herself, that BJP is fooling her and that she is a fool for falling under the trap of the BJP and whatever BJP is trying to propagate by bringing this new bill. The community as a large across the country, whether in Calcutta or in Delhi or in Hyderabad or in Bangalore, everywhere, so many Muslim organizations, so many bodies of Muslim intellectuals, they have come out in the open. They have reviewed the bill that was presented by the government, and they have consulted various advocates who are also non-Muslims, and then they have come to a conclusion that this bill, the actual intention of the bill is to deprive Muslims of their property, is to interfere in the religious affairs of Muslims by the government, now, which is not permitted under the constitution, which is not permitted. When a man, I'm telling you how, when a man donates a land under Waqf, that person is doing his religious duty, a religious duty by donating the land, donating a property under Waqf for religious and charitable purpose. Now, the government says, no, I will appoint my own collector who will decide whether the property is Waqf or not. And Home Minister says that there is no provision to challenge the Waqf tribunal order. Both of the said contents of the government is white lie. Under the judicial system, the Waqf tribunal's order can be challenged in High Court as well as in Supreme Court under the review. And the judge who is sitting and deciding in the tribunals is under the supervision of the High Court as well as the Supreme Court. Now, the other provision that they are saying that we will bring our collector. Now, how can you be the judge of your own cause? The majority of cases or the allegation of encroachment of a property is against the government. The government will appoint a collector who is a government's agent, who is appointed by the government, who is paid by the government to decide on this dispute. Obviously, this dispute will be decided in favor of the government. So this is how we are, and there were so many other legal points which are already discussed, which are there out in the public. The report submitted by so many various organizations, which shows that not only this law is ultra virus, not only the bill, the Waqf bill of 2024, which the government had introduced, was ultra virus and would be declared ultra virus by the Supreme Court. But there was a clear intention that the government wants to grab the Muslim land. Government wants to take
all
the
the
powers away from
people
the tribunal and appoint their own students.
Your argument is all the people who have a certain level of legal acumen, who can understand whether a certain legislation will stand the test of legal scrutiny or not, and those who are wise and not fools, all are only part of the opposition, and those who are part of those who are opposing the bill. Those who are supporting the bill, a huge section of the Muslim community included, legislators in government, lawyers in government, people who have got the ability to draft legislation, also famed lawyers and with a certain level of legal acumen, don't have any of that. And you can be there, judge, jury, and decide carte blanche for all of them, while giving full marks to those who you believe support your point of view. So anybody who supports Shazia Almi's point of view, Shazia Almi can only speak for herself, but you, Tausif, can speak for everybody else. Now that does not, that's not parity.
I'm speaking on behalf. No, please. No, please.
No, but
I'm giving you one example. In Calcutta, in West Bengal Waqf Board, the chairman is the retired judge of the Calcutta High Court, Saidullah Munshi. The retired judge of the Calcutta High Court is the chairman of the Waqf Board of Bengal Waqf Board. He is objecting to it. You're gonna attack me.
So there can be people. There will be people. There will be people. There will be people. There are as many. Tausif, point is there are always two sides to an argument. So one person opposes it, so it should be opposed. 100 people support it, so it should not be supported. That's not logic. You know, that defies all logic. Shazia Almi respond that this is the government trying to. This is the government trying to officially. No. 1 minute.
BJP government does not enjoy the trust of Muslim community.
No.
Allowed to interfere in Muslim matters.
Tausif, you know very well that you all lied to all the Muslims, the foolish ones and the intelligent ones, and told them during the CA protest that they will be rendered stateless. Was that a lie or not a lie? 2, you tell me, should a district collector not look at what is happening just like a district collector or a magistrate looks at, and the land revenue department and the land records should be maintained by the government body or the executive of the country, so to speak. If your land or my land is disputed, who will we go to? So you are saying that if government's land is encroached upon, somebody from the government or a district magistrate will not. By the same logic, if government land is encroached upon by the Waqf Board, so Waqf Board will decide, they will be the judge and the jury. The same logic works. And if your contention is that Hindus cannot be a part of a regulatory body, not a mazhabi body or a dharmic body, because all the members of the Waqf Board are not required to do imamat and to lead prayers. Namaz nahi padwani unko. As regulatory bodies, they should be not there, because Hindus are naqabile etbar. Hindus पर भरोसा नहीं किया जा सकता है. By that logic, no Muslim should vote for Mamata Banerjee. No Muslim should vote for Akhilesh Yadav. No Muslim should vote for Tejasvi Yadav. Where does it go? You want to distrust your Hindu brothers, even regulatory bodies. You want to really distrust the government machinery, the land revenues department, the district commissioner.
Now let me answer that.
You want to dispute, you want to respect them.
Now let me answer that.
Okay. Okay, you answer that, and then we'll clear out something. Yeah. Go ahead.
Now, Shazia says, why do you object the collector deciding on these disputes? First, collector does not apply a judicial mind when they are deciding on a land-related matters. Whereas Waqf Tribunal has a judge who is under the control, is a judge who applies a judicial mind and is under the control of the High Court. Now, also, there is a provision to include the retired judges also, who is under nobody's control. Now, secondly, Shazia says, why do you want to oppose a non-Muslims? Because This is not an act of worship. What she says that Waqf is, you're not offering a prayer, you're not the
No, I
imam,
didn't say
you're not.
that.
It is
I
not that
didn't
a
say that.
imam
It's
is coming and leading your
regulatory
prayers.
body.
No,
It's a regulatory body.
please, let me.
It is
Yeah, you're
not
saying regulatory.
Counter you, please.
Okay,
Counter
regulatory
body.
body, please.
Yeah, regulatory
All right, regulatory body. All right,
Okay, fine.
regulatory body.
It's a regulatory
But
body.
dealing with
And it
Muslim
is provided
matters.
by Hindu
No, no,
leaders.
it's
Dealing
not.
with
It's not.
religious
It's not.
matter.
No, it's not a religious
A
matter. Sir.
regulatory
It's not.
body
It's
dealing
not.
with religious
It's not a
matter.
religious matter, sir.
Only
It's not a
performing
religious
namaz
matter,
is not
sir.
a-
It's
not
not
a
a
way of
religious
worshipping.
matter. You please. It's not. It's not a religious matter. It becomes a right. The right. It becomes a civil. No, no. It becomes a civil rights issue.
This is a
The
religious
act. No, sir. The act
No,
of
no, no,
donating.
Anand, it is not a
1
civil
minute.
right issue.
1 minute, sir. Act of.
Anand.
What can I just say? The act of donating the land and donating it to Allah is a religious act from the matter of faith. But the conduct of the affairs of the land on behalf of Allah by the people who are supposed to do it becomes a regulatory and a civil issue.
Anand,
The other thing is, sir, you are supposed to use the land. No, please. I'm just going to take. I'm just going to answer a few FAQs. We just got 1 minute, sir. 1 minute. 1 minute. I'll come back to you. I'll come back to you, Tosi. I'll come back to you. I'll come back to you, sir. Nowhere in the country is there a tribunal that is set purely on religious lines, except for the Waqf or except for the Muslim community. Now, how is that not ultra vires the constitution, and how is that secular? How can you have only a religious tribunal only for Muslims and over for nobody else? Then that does not become a secular act. So then again it becomes ultra wide. So you should highlight that. The other thing is, sir, show me one university that has been built by the Waqf board. Show me one charitable act of humanity which has been done for Muslims by the Waqf board. How is building shopping malls a charitable act, sir? How is building movie theatres and commercial establishment and exacting rent as a mutawalli there a charitable act, sir? Is that not violative of the guiding principles in Islam? What guides Waqf and Waqf? Who has questioned that? Has the retired judge of the Calcutta High Court, who is sitting there as Waqf Board chairman, questioned that? Has he done an audit of what Waqf land has been used and how it's been used in Bengal? So these are questions you must ask. Meanwhile, following FAQs provide an understanding of the Waqf Amendment Bill 2024. Going back to our guests in just a bit, after we put this out, as listed by the Government of India. Now one of the questions are, let's understand this. What are the main issues concerned with the Waqf Board? Irrevocability of Waqf properties. The principle, once a Waqf, always a Waqf, has also led to disputes such as claims over islands in Bet Dwarka. Once a temple, always a temple. Bet Dwarka has religious significance. The Munambam case in Kerala. Now, these have been deemed perplexing by the courts as well. Legal disputes and poor management. The Waqf Act 1995 and its 2013 amendment have not been effective. Some problems include illegal occupation of Waqf land, mismanagement and ownership disputes, delays in property registration and surveys, large-scale litigation cases and complaints to the ministry, no judicial oversight, decisions by Waqf tribunals that cannot be challenged in higher courts. Now, this reduces transparency and accountability in Waqf management. Incomplete survey of Waqf properties. The survey commissioner's work has been poor, leading to delays. Now, in states like Gujarat and Uttarakhand, surveys have not yet begun. In Uttar Pradesh, a survey ordered in 2014 is still pending. Lack of expertise and poor coordination with the revenue department have also slowed the registration process. Misuse of Waqf laws. Some state Waqf boards have misused their powers, leading to community tension. Section 40 of the Waqf Act has been widely misused to declare private properties as Waqf properties, causing legal battles and unrest. Now, as per information, out of 30 states and union territories, data was given by only 8 states, where 515 properties have been declared as Waqf under Section 40. There's another question. What are some of the key reforms of the Waqf Amendment Bill 2024? Now, here's the answer to that. The proposed amendments under this bill 2024 are aimed at transforming Waqf administration in Bharat by ensuring better governance, transparency and accountability. It also seeks to create a streamlined, technology-driven and legally robust framework for the management of Waqf properties, while also fostering socio-economic development for the intended beneficiaries. A unified Waqf management empowerment of Central Waqf Council and state Waqf boards, inclusion of diverse groups like non-Muslim and other Muslim communities, other backward classes among Muslim communities, women, etc. in the decision-making process to enhance representation and efficiency, the efficiency of the state Waqf boards. Now, how can the Waqf Amendment Bill 2024 benefit the poor, the Pashmanda among the Muslims? Digitization for transparency and accountability, increased revenue for welfare and development, increased allocation for welfare, education, promotion and better financial discipline. So these are some of the FAQs which the government side has tried to answer here. Now the other aspect, that no property that is legitimately declared as Waqf will be revoked. So some myths and some counters. Once a property is declared Waqf, it is meant to stay that way permanently. The bill only clarifies rules for better management and transparency. It is in fact, it allows district collector to review properties that might be misclassified as Waqf, especially if they are actually government property. The bill replaces the old role of the survey commissioner with the district collector. The common misconception is that there won't be any more surveys. The district collector will conduct the surveys using the existing revenue procedures. This change aims to improve the accuracy of the records without stopping the survey process at all. The bill also requires that at least 2 members on the Central Waqf Council and state boards be non-Muslim. That doesn't mean that it becomes a majority non-Muslim board. No, majority of the members will still be from the Muslim community, although representation across firqas and gender. The bill empowers the district collector to review and verify a property where that has been wrongly classified as Waqf, especially if it might be actually government property, but it does not authorize the seizure of legitimately declared Waqf properties. The bill does not interfere with religious or historical character of Waqf properties. Its aim is to enhance administrative transparency and curb fraudulent claims, not to alter the sacred nature of these sites that have been called Waqf. Now, that's the clarification that we've been able to glean, understand some myths, some lies that are being propagated, some untruths, half-truths, and where the bill lies. But the larger question, Shazia Almi, is there are doubters, there are naysayers, and there are fearmongers. In the past, every time the government has tried to pass a legislation that is questioning or perhaps bringing in reform, especially among the Muslim community or a segment of community that has been, or let's say farmers, that has been protected overall. That's become a huge politically, political tightrope for any government to walk. The government seemed to have failed in building the narrative and controlling the narrative. Are we going to see another series of protests? Are we going to see another series of mayhem on the streets and disruption of life for the common people?
I think it is what we all saw what happened during the CAA. A lie was propagated, a bill was vilified, even before it, even after it was made into an act. Why? Because you had to keep Muslims in a state of fear. Unless and until you keep Muslims in a state of fear, you keep them backward, you keep them economically marginalized and educationally at the lowest rung. You cannot rule over them. Such is the mentality of the opposition. And I hate to say it, and I say it as a Muslim, not just as an Indian citizen and as a woman. As a Muslim woman, Indian citizen, I want to say that these parties have been actively working against the interest of poor Muslims and Muslim women. Yes, sometimes it's lost on a poor Muslim brethren because they don't know any better, and these religious bodies who act religious but are extremely political, and they work merely as vote collectors for Samajwadi Party, for TMC and for Congress. And I can speak for All India Muslim Personal Law Board, which went against even the teachings of Quran. It went against even the teachings of
With the black armband protest on Alvida Jumma, many people have said that that is against the basic tenets and what the religious principles are through the holy month of Ramzan, and also when you come to Eid ul-Fitr, or the culmination of the holy month of fasting. We'll try and get Shazia Almi back again because the question, and I'm going to check if she is back with us. The question remains is that if the opposition has been successful in building a narrative which the government claims is false, then the counter to that also stands true, that the government has also has failed in pushing forth a narrative that it claims to be true. But Tausif, the larger question is, if once the bill finds passage, nobody's read the bill. Now, if the bill safeguards the interests of larger number of Muslims, especially the poor, the backward, Is there a reason to oppose it? Or will you oppose it because it's being brought by this government?
No, Anand, I respect you a lot, and you are a very senior anchor for me to be disrespectful to you. You are saying, have you read the bill, or has anyone read the bill? The bill was introduced in 2024. Yes, everyone has read the bill. It is there out in the public.
No, but that bill has
Now,
seen...
after the
Tausif, sorry,
JPC
that bill
visited-
has seen 44
after the
amendments
JPC
and plus another 14 within the JPC. Yeah, go ahead please. Yeah.
Yes, after the JPC visited across the country, I was also there. I also submitted my objections. What we saw is that when finally the JPC visit was concluded and they were having a meeting in the JPC, when they were having a meeting among themselves, the opposition MPs, they were protesting that all the suggestions that the opposition MPs had given, being part of the JPC, all the opposition MP, that the suggestions they had given, and all the other suggestions that JPC collected from the stakeholders across the country, my objections also including, they were not incorporated. That is what the opposition MPs who are part of the JPC are saying. That the suggestions.
But after that happened,
Anand, please give
after
me,
that
please
happened,
do not interrupt me.
Okay, go ahead. Okay, go ahead.
No,
Go ahead.
the question really here is that the law should be passed with consensus, by taking into consideration the inputs of the people who are really going to be affected by it. Now the Waqf bill is going to affect the Muslim community.
No. See,
the Muslim community from
see,
across
but
the
then you
country
also have
has
to see
objected to
you
this
also
bill.
have to then consider there are many within there are very strong tall there are strong Muslim leaders, ulema, groups of various firqas of Muslims in our country, and and I think it is credit for Bharat's diversity that across the world you don't find all the firqas in any nation as much as you find in Bharat. All the firqas, and even some that are not even recognized by Islamic nations are present in Bharat, and they have all been approached. They have all been approached as per the JPC chairman. I thank you very much. We should be we're hopeful of being able to speak with the JPC chairman, Jagdambika Pal. Jagdambika Palji, the bill is set to be tabled in the Lok Sabha on the 2nd of April at around 12 noon. Your thoughts on the opposition's current position? They seem to have walked out of the BAC meeting also, Business Advisory Committee meeting also earlier in the day.
I'm quite sure that now after exhaustive deliberations and discussion with the stakeholders, and not only in Delhi, I took 38 meetings with the JPC and worked with the stakeholders. Then our committee have traveled throughout the country, even Maharashtra, Gujarat, Telangana, Karnataka, Bangalore, Assam, Odisha, West Bengal, UP and Bihar. And the entire members, either from BJP, either from Congress Party, Samajwadi, DMK, TMC, either OAC, everybody had traveled along with me, and we have discussed in details, and we have heard the views of all the stakeholders, even All India Muslim Personal Law Board, for whom we have given 3 hours. But I think so now, according to you, if bill is coming tomorrow, so I fail to understand why All India Muslim Personal Law Board has given a call even during Ramzan. Ramzan is supposed to be very pious month for the Muslims, because for the whole month they used to keep fast, and they only just engage with the Taraweeh and Namaz to offer to the God.
Right.
Even then, what they have given a call, now you go with the black strip on your shoulders. I think so. All India Muslim Personal Law Board if they believe in Sharia, if they believe in religion, so whether the protest place is a masjid, mosque or Eidgah, or whether Jantar Mantar, if really, but they are doing only politics. Even now, Ibadat Gah ko they have made a siyasat Gah. I think so. जहाँ पे इबादत होनी चाहिए, जहाँ पे नमाज ऑफर होनी चाहिए, इन्होंने अलविदा के जुमे को भी कहा कि आप लोग काली पट्टी बांध करके जाइए, और कल भी कहा। तो इसका मतलब है कि इट वाज ए डिजाइन, इट वाज ए वेल थॉट conspiracy ki something they were trying to provoke the people with a black script ki at least there should be some any sense should be arrived to become a law and order. I think so. Why they have given this call? If bill was not tabled, once the bill was tabled and if Parliamentary Affairs Minister has made a request to the Honorable Speaker, it should be referred to the JPC, and Honorable Speaker is kindly enough to just constitute a committee, and I was chairman. I did hard work in last 6 months, and just I have made my report of 428 pages. After 428 pages tabled to the House, given to the Parliament Speaker, Honorable Speaker, now government has well thought thinking and exercise, just approved also, and now bringing amendment bill, I think so tomorrow or day after tomorrow, the government and Business Advisory Committee speakers are now, I think so he will fix the schedule up at what time the bill be just on the table.
But Jagdambika Pal ji,
why they are doing politics? Why they are doing politics?
One of the conversation is कि जो बिल JPC में आया था and जो बिल कल सदन में आएगा, there is not too much of a difference. कुछ ज्यादा उसमें संशोधन नहीं हुआ है. That's one of the conversation points. Is that true?
No, not at all. यही तो they are misleading to the society. If जो बिल JPC को आया था, अगर उसमें हमने 14 अमेंडमेंट्स कर दिया, तो आई थिंक सो you are a academic, you can understand the government has just made a 44 amendments, and after that if the bill was referred to the JPC and if I have made again 14 recommendations, so I think so many have been addressed. So at least they should wait for the bill. I am giving a challenge to obviously to anybody कि now they are propagating कि if this bill be enacted तो मस्जिद ले ली जाएगी, खानका ले जाएगी, कब्रिस्तान और ईदगाह ले ली जाएगी। मैं कहता हूँ कि मैं चुनौती देता हूँ कि अगर ये ले ली जाएगी तो मैं सांसद से इस्तीफा दे दूंगा, और अगर ये नहीं ली जाएगी तो ये जो देश को गुमराह किया है कि हमारी मस्जिद पे हमले हो रहे हैं, ईमान पे गोली चल रही है, they are trying to create throughout the country to destabilize. So what I think so they are ready to कि now they will feel apology या they should resign. I am ready to resign.
आप कह रहे हैं, बहुत बड़ी बात आप कह रहे हैं जगदम्बिका पाल जी, यू आर सेइंग कि अगर कोई भी मस्जिद, कब्रिस्तान, ईदगाह छीन ली जाती है तो आप अपने संसद पद से इस्तीफा दे देंगे. दैट्स व्हाट यू आर सेइंग, दैट द ऑपोजिशन इज डेलिबरेटली मिसलीडिंग.
On air I'm saying and I'm if I'm saying this thing, so I can understand कि if I'm saying this, so what will be the repercussions. But if I'm saying, so it means कि I was a chairman, I knew कि no clause either amended by the government, either by recommendation of JPC. And now you people are counting how many numbers from JDU, from Eknath Shinde party, from Chandrababu Naidu, whether they will support us or they will not support. I am not the government, I am only chairman, but I can say what the recommendations I have made, those recommendations only I can say कि either JDU, either Chirag Paswan party, either DM, either Chandrababu party, either Eknath Shinde and Nitish Kumar. All the member of respective party, they were part and parcel of the JPC. And they voted whatever recommendations I have made, they have voted in favor of those recommendations. So I think so we were anonymously, consensusly, we have recommended 40. So what is the question of counting of numbers? I think so government will bring the bill on the table on the floor of the House. Definitely this will be, absolutely it will be passed.
Right.
No question of speculation कि whether JPC support या whether Chirag Paswan or whether Eknath Shinde ji. Because we have already concerned, we have already addressed the concerns, whatever the raised concerns was by the respective party, even by the opposition also.
If that is the case, आपने कहा कि you spent 3 hours with the AIM PLB members, All India Muslim Personal Law Board, but they are at the forefront of the opposition. They are, आपने जैसे कहा, they called for even black armbands on Alvida Jumma. So I am asking you, why are they opposing? If you have spent 3 hours with them, have you not addressed their concerns?
If I give 3 hours and even without going but if they have not gone through my report, if they are not ready to bait the bill, and even they are opposing, even in mosque also, Eidgah also, and they are giving a call also. They have made a protest at Jantar Mantar. They were trying to mounting pressure on Nitish Kumar. They had gone to the Patna also. They may go to the Vijayawada also. So I think so. It means that now it is only, I think so, they have already decided that we have to oppose like a Teen Talaq, like a CA and NRC, like Article 370 and 35A. I think the same type of forces, those who were opposing in all, whatever I think so, mention all these things. But now just you see, Mahbooba Mufti, what she said? She said that if Article 370 and 35 evaluative, but then खून की नदियां बह जाएंगी. But even not even a drop of blood was just now. Jammu Kashmir has become a world tourism hub now. I think so. All the legislation which was passed by the Parliament, it has been related and only now benefited to the Jammu and Kashmir. After 37 years, the local body elections also takes place.
So you believe that this will pass, find passage. There is also this question, couldn't this have waited after the Bihar election? Why the rush to push through with this in this session of Parliament?
Just even when I was engaged with the JPC, even at that time also this speculation was that only they are doing exercise in JPC, but this report will not come before Bihar elections. It was in public domain, it was in rumor, it was in some media also, that now at least up to Bihar, this process. Even opposition, they were demanding also. Kiren and overseas, they were all demanding that now the period and tenure of the JPC should be extended. I think so. If you will recollect, so but now it is not a question on whether Bihar elections or Delhi elections. It makes no difference. The question is only that now if government has brought it amendment to only just to be work law should be transparent, and the property of the work income should be to the downtrodden Pasmanda Muslims, common women and children, for education, for health.
मेरा वोल्टा
双方特战队员在混合编组乘机实滑过程中，最大的困难就是语言上的障碍。我们在训练开始之前，就与泰方官兵建立战术手势上的交流，手势上的利用有效地提高了双方战术上的交流和协同作战能力。
通过作战背景设置、方案制定、技战术交流、图上推演、预先训练、装设备精细检查等前期工作，中泰联合兵力高标准完成了海上联合训练。在战术技术上，双方参训兵力深度融合，指挥能力得到提升，作战体系得到检验， 为实战化应急处置及维护海上安全积累了经验。
Back live with an exclusive news break here on the Right Stand, and this is courtesy our Network 18 Group Editor Investigations and Security Affairs Manoj Kumar Gupta, and this is with respect to China-linked loan app scams. Enforcement Directorate sources have revealed that the agency's recent probe into a fake Chinese loan app scam hints at China's larger game plan to attack Bharat's fintech firms. So this is a certain level of economic warfare on the play. ED sources have revealed that it could be a part of their cyber warfare tactics, as it is similar to the Chinese debt trap diplomacy in Africa and Sri Lanka. The scam matches China's three-pronged warfare strategy: psychological, media and legal. The Chinese-linked loan app scam is not just a financial fraud, it is a coordinated economic attack on Bharat's stability. The aim was to deliberately sabotage the financial system to destabilize the economy. It looked to create mass panic and fund illegal activities, including espionage, and it is also designed to exploit vulnerabilities. Now, further, ED sources have added that similar scams amounting to more than 1,000 crore rupees have been reported across Bharat. The Reserve Bank of India and the Ministry of Corporate Affairs are investigating 300 plus fake loan apps. Chinese nationals use the Nepal and Dubai routes to enter Bharat. The scam reveals a sophisticated China-linked financial fraud network exploiting Bharat's digital lending boom. The Chinese-linked loan app scam exploited regulatory gaps in fintech regulations, cryptocurrency anonymity, and manipulated the common man. The borrowers were blackmailed and morphed photos were sent to family and friends. Suicide cases have been reported in states like Telangana and Karnataka. Let's go across and speak to one of the victims of such a China loan app scam, and he's joining us from Warangal. His name is Srinivas Bandaru. Srinivas ji, thank you for speaking with us. सबसे पहले बताइए आपके साथ हुआ क्या था? What happened with you?
तो जो भी पैंडेमिक टाइम पे जो भी ना हैकर कुछ मैसेज आया था मोबाइल पे, उसको जो भी क्या है बोल के हम इसको क्लिक किया था। वो क्लिक होने के बाद इसमें थोड़ा सस्पिशियस बोल के बता के हमने क्या किया था कि उसको छोड़ दिया था। वो जो भी बीजाने बंदा जो भी ना उसको फिर देख के फिर कॉल करके सर ये रहता बोले, तो अपन क्या इसको नेक्स्ट दबाने के बाद क्या हुआ था कि हमारा अकाउंट पूरा इसको एक्सेस होके हमको उसको इसकी ट्रैप में लगा दिया था। लगाने के बाद जो भी हमारा जो भी इसको क्या बता सकते हैं, अपन को क्या आपका अपन को जरूरत नहीं तो भी क्या अपन को लोन हमारा अकाउंट में क्रिएट करके फिर वापस लेके और जो भी और अपन विदाउट हमारा एक्सेप्टेंसी वो लोग को बहुत हमारा परेशान करा था।
So without your consent itself they tried to create loans for you. उन्होंने कैसे किया ये? कुछ समझ में आया कैसे किया इन्होंने?
वही बता रहा सर, जो भी लिंक जो भी है ना सर, वो लिंक अपन को क्या उन लोग फोन करके सर आपको आया था ना वो नए लिंक में क्लिक कीजिए नहीं तो आपको सारी पैसा आपका परेशान हो जाएगा बोले, तो हमको क्या मालूम सर इसको क्या दिक्कत होता है बोल के हम उसको दबा दिया था।
So they used
जो भी है ना उसको ट्रैप बना के उसको इसमें बिठा लिया था अपन।
So they used your gullibility and then tried to fool you with it, link you, forcing you to press the link. But कब पता लगा कि ये स्कैम है?
जो भी उस दिन उनसे बात हुआ था ना, इनकी तीसरे दिन से हुआ था सर। इन बिटवीन मुझे नहीं था कि 5 से 7 लाख तक हुआ था सर।
वाओ, कितना नुकसान हुआ ओवरऑल? आपको ब्लैकमेल भी किया गया था? डिड दे ब्लैकमेल यू आल्सो?
वो एक्चुअली क्या हुआ था कि इसका हम अपन को क्या इसमें कहीं ना कि अपन को एविडेंस नहीं था कि हमने ले उन लोग क्या है हमारा अकाउंट में क्रेडिट और डेबिट करने वाला, जो भी हमारा पूरा फोन एक्सेस इनके पास लेके जो भी इसका हमारा मोबाइल ऑफ करे तो भी कि हमारा पूरा मोबाइल एक्सेस करवा लिया था, जो भी हमारा डेटा पूरा इनकी कॉपी करके उनके ट्रेडिंग उसको ब्लैकमेल करने को शुरू करा था अपन को। और जो भी हमारा जो भी फैमिली एंड फ्रेंड्स और जो भी बंदा रहता ना रेगुलर कांटेक्ट रहता ना, उसको फोन करके आपका बंदा ने पैसा लिया, आप पैसे भरना, नहीं तो देखो आपका पूरा रेशन कार्ड आधार कार्ड पूरा बंद होता, आपको पुलिस वाला आके पकड़ के ले गया था, उसको सबको डराने शुरू करा था, मेरे को शुरू करा था। वो पूरा नौटंकी देख के हमने क्या करा था कि लोकल पुलिस स्टेशन में जाके हमारा एसएस साहब को बता दिया, तो एसएस साहब ने उसको इन्वेस्टिगेशन करा के वो हमारा जो भी कमिश्नर था उसको कमिश्नर साहब को फॉरवर्ड किया था मैटर। लेकिन आप एक बात बताइए श्रीनिवास, व्हाट विल यू टेल द व्यूअर्स हु आर वाचिंग यू राइट नाउ, उनको क्या कहेंगे आप? हाँ सर, बिल्कुल मेरे तरफ से बताना था कि अनसस्पिशियस और जो कहीं ना अनजान व्यक्ति से कुछ ही ना फोन नहीं देना है ना करना है, और जो भी लिंक्स और मैसेज को रेस्पॉन्ड नहीं होना है। और जो भी हमारा प्रेयर नोटिस था कि जो भी है ना सोशल नेटवर्किंग में जो भी पर्सन ने जाना है बेटिंग में और इजी अर्निंग्स पे नहीं जाना है।
थोड़ा श्रीनिवास और डिटेल में बताएंगे उन्होंने क्या क्या टैक्टिक्स यूज किए आपके साथ?
सर पहले था कि आपका जो भी है ना आधार कार्ड, पैन कार्ड, रेशन कार्ड जो भी है ना पूरा ब्लॉक जो हो जाएगा। आप नहीं करे तो देखो पूरा आपका पूरा फोटोज वीडियोस पूरा नंगा बना के आपका और जो भी आपका परिवार है ना इसको सोशल मीडिया में जो भी है ना आपका इसमें आपका जो भी पोस्ट कर रहे हैं ना वो के हैरेस किया था। और जो भी कह रहा था कि हमारा बंदा और फैमिली फ्रेंड्स का जो भी हमारा कॉन्टैक्ट लिस्ट चोरी करके इसमें से हमारा जो रिश्तेदार को और जो भी है ना सबको एक नया ग्रुप बना के श्रीनिवास वो कमीना है वो अच्छा गंदा गालिया से ग्रुप्स बना के इसमें चोर है ये आपसे बंदा पैसे लिया आप भरना है बोल के कई लोगों को फोन करके उन लोगों को थ्रेटन करने, और जो भी कई लोगों को ग्रुप में लगा के इसमें ये तो गालियां देना शुरू करा था कि मारचोट करा था, इसे पैसे लेके हमारा कंपनी से पैसे लेके लूट के वो
तो ह्यूज अमाउंट ऑफ इंटिमिडेशन आप कह रहे हैं। उन्होंने और क्या क्या तरकीब अपनाए?
नहीं एक्चुअली मैं बता रहा ना सर, एक्चुअली हमने इसमें क्या हुआ था कि ये लोग स्ट्रैटेजी क्या हुआ सर, जो भी एक लोन से उन लोग क्या अप्रूवल बोले तो उनको क्या करा था कि एक बार हम जो भी इसको लिंक पे मारा था ना उसको उन लोग क्या करा मल्टीपल नंबर ऑफ अकाउंट्स क्रिएट करके एक्चुअली इतना अमाउंट ह्यूज अमाउंट क्यों कैसे हुआ बोल तो ये लोग क्या करा था कि n नंबर ऑफ अकाउंट्स खोल के अपन हमारा जो है ना इसमें सब खाता में हमारा लोन है को क्रिएट करके हमको बता दिया।
अच्छा, तो एक लिंक से आप उन्होंने मल्टीपल अकाउंट्स क्रिएट किए। आपने कभी दोबारा लोन लेने का सोचा?
सर इतना फंस गया तो इतने सारे परेशान में हम क्यों करते सर, जो भी है ना हमारा मेहनत के काम के पैसे थे हम रहता तो दूसरी अभी जितना रहता उतना ही रहता सर। लोन की बारे अभी लोन बोले तो हमको बहुत डर लगा सर।
पर पुलिस के पास जब आप गए तो उनका रिएक्शन क्या था, कैसे उन्होंने किया इन्वेस्टिगेट? उनको पता था क्या करना है?
सर क्यों नहीं होता सर, एक्चुअली थिंग जो है सर ये तो ऐसा ये चीज तो भी उन लोगों को क्या है हम पुलिस डिपार्टमेंट को नया सब्जेक्ट है वो एक क्या है कहीं तो वो कागज में नहीं था, कहीं तो लिखना ना बंद क्या कहीं तो भी क्या डॉक्यूमेंट्री एविडेंस तो नहीं रहता, जो भी है ना पूरा डिजिटल का है। डिजिटल मामला में पूरा जो फ्रॉड करके वो सबको फंसा दिया। ये लोग बोल रहा था कि भाई आपका फोटो है, आधार कार्ड है, पैन कार्ड है, आपको लोकेशन है, इसकी बेसिस पे उन लोग क्या आपको हैरेस कर रहा, आपको इसके डॉक्यूमेंट में साइन किया था नहीं। ये लोग बता रहा था कि डिजिटल में आपका पूरा हुआ अब लेने से हुआ है। और क्या है इन लोग क्या कर रहे थे हमारे जो भी पर्सनल का मोबाइल में रहता फोटोज और स्क्रीनशॉट्स रहता ना, इससे उन लोग का बहुत परेशान करा सर।
Srinivas ji, thank you very much for speaking up, and I think let's hope that you're serving a fair warning to others, viewers watching this. Don't click links, don't get fooled by these kind of baiting where they say cheap loan or loan apps that come and say that we'll give you small amounts. Well, you see what's happened with Srinivas, and let's hope we don't allow this larger game to be played across Bharat. Now, CNN News 18 has accessed nefarious China loan app scam files. Now, blackmail, threats, data manipulation and whatnot. Viewers, we bring to you the A to Z of the China loan app scam that no other channel is actually talking about. And that's why we are taking the right stand in the interest of Bharat. This remains an integral part of the China playbook. Over the years, China has utilized its non-contact warfare to destabilize Bharat in ways that remain known and unknown. The nefarious scam starts with registration of shell companies in Bharat, shady shell companies with applications like True Kindle or Soko Lending are launched. Then locals using these applications are duped and bribed to give out sensitive data. This data is then morphed and illegally used to blackmail individuals. So far, that 12 suicide cases have been reported from across the country in association with these China-linked loan scams. Now, just imagine, viewers, is our data really safe? The data that is stolen after blackmailing and duping is then sold to Chinese surveillance firms. It further proves how the Chinese apparatus believes in saying power is information and information is power. Now then comes the sensational Dubai-Nepal Hawala link. Currency conversion, black money accumulation and illicit transfers through so-called middlemen. And of course, once the nefarious plan is executed, the Chinese apparatus meticulously cleans all the traces of its nefarious tentacles. The data trace is completely wiped out, cleaned, erased. The tracks are covered, no crumbs are left. This is the China scam, viewers. And like I said, China is trying to destabilize Bharatiya economy in ways that remain known and unknown. ED sources have shared some explosive details with CNN News 18. These details are regarding a very China-linked scam that we're talking about. Now, this is a part of China's non-contact warfare strategy. Particular strategy entails psychological warfare, media or public opinion warfare, and legal warfare. Therefore, such measures are not exclusively concerned with traditional war fighting, but aligned towards aiding Chinese diplomacy and influencing decision-making capabilities that the adversaries possess. Now, this scam seems to be a part of that dangerous strategy. The RBI and the Ministry of Corporate Affairs are investigating 300 plus fake lending applications in Bharat in association with the files that we have accessed. Now then comes the sensational Dubai-Nepal Hawala link. Currency conversion, black money accumulation, transfers through so-called middlemen. This is where wash the mud off, making their hands completely clean. ED has already made several arrests. These are individuals who are linked to these shell companies and mostly comprise China-backed operatives. We put out some of the pictures here too. The scam has already crossed 1,000 crore mark, underscoring the massive scale of this particular scam being orchestrated on a daily basis by these Chinese apparatus. Pictures, data morphed, illegal means to blackmail individuals. It's just a huge game that's being played, and we need to be aware of this. We've run out of time on this edition of The Right Stand. Thank you for watching. Bye for now.
Co-powered by
双方特战队员在混合编组乘机施华过程中，最大的困难就是语言上的障碍。我们在训练开始之前，就与泰方官兵建立战术手势上的交流，手势上的利用，有效地提高了双方战术上的交流和协同作战能力。